Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how I made this scene. So basically I'm just going to run you through, make a breakdown of the scene. So first of all, I just created a plane, scaled it up, applied the scale, created noise texture, cloud noise texture, subdivided the plane by 50 times. Then I added a displace modifier with the cloud texture, turned down the strength a bit. Then I created the camera and positioned it as I liked. And then I just copied the base plane and did some proportional editing on that, so it kinda looks like a small hill. So once I was finished with creating the terrain, I just added a mud texture from Blender Kit. For the lighting, I used the Natasha sky texture to create the light. Well, that's pretty bright, but that's gonna change afterwards. Then I placed in my dinosaurs, and now let's take a look at it again. Again, this is gonna change afterwards, but it's quite bright. So then I used an add-on called Scatter 5 to scatter around my vegetation, and it's just so perfect. It just works with one click. There you go, just right. So since the background is quite empty, I went to a website called pexels.com and got me a sky background, sky mountain image that I just, you know, use as the sky in the background. Since I'm using the Natasha sky texture, that kind of doesn't create a good looking sky, so I went with that. I just imported it using the images planes add-on. There we go, import it, there we go, we imported, I positioned it, and then I did some changes to the nodes. I plugged in the texture to the emission map, to the emissions, so you know, it kind of gives that light, it kind of emits, and then I just did some color correction with some RGB curves on the color and on the emission. What I also did is I went to the objects panel and then I just turned off the shadow and ray visibility, so you know, it doesn't cast a shadow over a scene. So let's take a look at it. Looks amazing. But if we take a look at the sides, those kind of feel empty, so I just wanted to add some more vegetation for that. For that I used the botanic add-on. Real nice add-on, has a good amazing tree package. Just with one click the trees are there, and voila. So now if we take a look at the background, we can't separate the foreground and the background. So what I did for that, I created some atmospheric planes, and those are just some nodes I plugged in. There you go, I plugged in a color ramp to noise texture, and then I could just added the height of this noise, and also added a principal volume with 0.001 strength, and changed the color to a bluish looking color, so you know, we kind of get that impression. So if we take a look in the upper sky background there, it's quite empty, so what I did, I just placed some more flying dinosaurs there. I forgot the name of those, but yeah, flying dinosaurs. We're done creating our scene. I just enabled some render layers, some CTAP, some mist, ambient occlusion, and all the crypto mats. And if we take a look at the Blender render, it kind of looks real flat, so we got to fix that up in compositing. So of course I went with my favorite compositing software. Yeah, I'm one of those users. I don't use Photoshop to composite. So now we're in After Effects. First of all, I just applied the ambient occlusion to the scene. Then I used the crypto mats to separate the background from the foreground, so I can do some separate color grading on that part. So there you go, did some contrast, some saturation to it. I also did the same thing to the foreground. As you can see here, it's way more saturated. I added some saturation and contrast to that too. Let's enable that, there we go. I also did the same thing to the Stegosaurus, you know, added a bit more contrast, some shadow saturation, and I repeated the same thing with the raptor. And I think the raptor is the most viable part here, because you can see how much compositing changes look. Also did the same thing with the fog. You kind of see it, but it doesn't do much. And I did the same thing with the trees here by using the crypto mats. So that was the part where I, you know, kind of composited the render layers, and then I pre-composed that, copied that, and added to the copy a Gaussian blur and turned the opacity down, so we kind of blur the image out a bit so it doesn't look that sharp. Also created an adjustment layer and added film convert onto that to get that more saturated film convert look with that noise, and also used looks to create chromatic aberration. But yeah, that's basically it. That's how I created the scene, that's how I made it. So this was the first video where I did a breakdown. I hope you guys liked it. Probably could improve a bit here and there, but tell me in the comments, should I do more of these? Should I break down more of my images that I post on ArtStation or not? See you in the next video.